Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. We are joined by Judy Burrows here, who does her own readings, and the name of her company is Readings by
Judy, JUDIE.com.
Perfect. Also ordained ministers. You do tarot, you do readings. You are a psychic and empath and intuitive. What do I call you? A woman with many hats.
Wears many hats.
Yes. That's it. No, really, it's a pleasure to have you here. Really, as readers, healers, you and your company and your staff really provide amazing services. Please introduce yourself to everyone today.
Hello, everybody. I'm Judy Burrows, based here in Lehigh Acres, Florida. And I'm Readings by Judy, JUDIE.com. And I'm just me.
You're so sweet. She's so modest. The amount of work this woman does and her whole tribe of friends, family, I know your husband, he's a shaman. I mean, there's a whole bunch of you that work for you. Would you mind explaining and the types of services you provide?
Sure. I'll actually go down the list and just, we have, first of all, my reader manager. Her name is Nisha McDonald. She's been with me about 3 years. We have Angie Niggle. She's based out in Alaska. She has been with me 4 years, I believe. She's a reader. I have Bonnie Potoff, who is a very well-known international psychic and intuitive healer. She's also a minister. She's just an all-around, worker too. We just brought her onto the team. She's been my mentor for 10 years.
Wow.
We have Giselle Reyes. She is a reader in training. We're also adopting her.
Aww.
And then, of course, last but not least at all is Tim, my husband, and he's a shaman healer. We're working on getting him to pick up those cards because he can do that.
Wow. Tell me more.
Well, he's back there making faces as we speak.
I say, hello, Tim. So he's going to start. Tell me, explain this. So
Tim, he has gifts. Of course, he's a very gifted healer, which he's taken on that role many times over. We've cleansed even celebrities. We've got celebrities under our belt. I got a few of them back there on the wall.
Am I allowed to ask who or no?
Well, we cleansed Matt Barnes, LA Lakers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We cleansed a boy, they call him Soldier Creep. He's a signed artist, rapper.
Cool.
And a few others.
All right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I can't see to the wall. I can zoom in, but awesome.
I know, right? I'll show you later.
All right, thank you.
But yeah, so we're just all around. We've been getting an influx of people, and this is kind of what I wanted to talk about today. People that have had, they call it root work, or some people call it witchcraft or brujeria, or any type of spiritual work placed on them.
Okay.
Which it can wreak havoc in your life. And so we've got a lot of that this week. That's what we just finished a cleansing, actually.
Wow. And what is a cleansing for some people who may not know? And what are the types of things that can help with? And tell us a little bit about the process to make us, a little more informed. I know because you've told me before, but new people may not understand.
Well, next week we're going to do a cleansing live on the air.
Wow.
So people will be able to see. But
Great.
Cleansing, I call it a life reset. It allows you to release negative energies. Negative spirits cannot live in a body with what we do. So you release it different kind of ways. Everybody is different.
Wow.
We use hape, which is an indigenous snuff. It goes up the nose.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband has been blessed to be able to administer that. Also sananga, which goes into the eyes. It starts the spiritual cleanse of the muck in the third eye. And of course, energies and different waters and sprays that we use. So thought to it.
All right. Well, I can't wait to see this next week. And by the way, if you go to the website, readingsbyjudy.com, clearly you can find out more information about her and her whole team and her whole staff. But you as an individual, you were born with these gifts. and
Mhm.
gifts of healing, gifts of insight, and clearly you're using them to help so many other people. Are you an intuitive to yourself? Can you see what's happening in your own world in life, or no? Is that like a block?
No, you know what I found, Jill, is that, and I've told my readers this, I've been doing this all my life, and I found that when I've trained people, once you're in tune with your gift, you can no longer read for yourself.
Oh, wow.
I have found it impossible to read for me. I found it impossible to do work for myself. I can manifest, but as far as like candle work or any type of other type of spiritual work, I found it impossible.
So do you go to someone, one of your friends? Do they, or
I
do you just,
I only allow the energy of my particular team members to either read for me or help me out with any type of work. I won't go outside of my spiritual arena,
Yeah.
which is small.
Of course. So you got to be willing to trust someone, and those around you, obviously you trust with all your heart. So I get it. I get it. Now the type of work you do also here, you have psychic readers here on board. We have Angie, we have another person, Nisha, I guess. So besides psychic readings, what are some of the other services that you offer that you want to discuss here for today? So next week we'll tackle cleansing. Great idea. I would love to see this live.
Right.
Make sure you guys tune in next week, same time, same place.
Right. So negative energy. Negative energy can bring about a lot of things. And I said, we've been dealing a lot with like root work this week. People come to us and they said, a lot of the things are feeling tired, feeling ill, and feeling very stuck. Like, when things were flowing fine, and now all of a sudden you're at this point where you can't seem to move forward for whatever reason. No matter what you do, you cannot move forward. It's just like everything goes to crap or shit.
Yeah.
You said I could cuss, right?
You could say shit. I could say it. Yes.
Yeah. Everything's going to shit. And, you've had like an interaction with somebody, and they either threaten to put something on you. Oh, I'm going to do voodoo on you or do whatever on you. And then all this stuff starts happening. So then they contact us. Then what I do is I'll throw the bones. I have these bones. These are yes or no. And what I'll do is I'll ask spirit, does so-and-so have any type of root work placed on them? And the bones will show me yes or no.
Wow.
If it's a no, then I'll tell them, look into maybe just doing a bottle cleanse to either just clear yourself, of how you're feeling, let release that, let this bath help you, or, go back, bathe in the ocean. That's always the number one thing. Or whatever, but, and then we use protection. We have what's called a protection pot. And that was made by, my master Felix, who's out in Los Angeles, California. And he makes this protection pot for us that when you're placed in there, we do like a ceremony. We place your picture in there, and you get 7 warrior spirits that follow you. Most people, 7 spirits will last an entire lifetime. However, it depends on the lifestyle you live, or what things you get into in your life. You can lose a spirit if you have an accident and you should have not made it and you did make it, or, certain circumstances. And
this now 24/7, are your readers all in Florida? Are they located throughout the US?
Yes. Miss Bonnie is in Illinois.
Okay.
Miss Angie is in Alaska. Nisha's here. I'm here. Giselle is here with us as well. And my husband, of course. But we also have an office in Stillwater, Minnesota. And then we also work out of Los Angeles with Felix when we're out there.
Got it. Now, obviously this all could be done virtual, as we're doing today, virtually over the airwaves, whether it's a Zoom call, whether it's a phone call, any which way or form, which is awesome. Again, there's no guarantees with spiritual work in a sense, right? We must say that. But for the most part, the types of things that have happened and people have experienced, could you share some of those instances where, real breakthroughs of how you've helped people?
Right. Well, and I'll go something that just happened last week. I had a court case, And because I do court case work as well and work for a more favorable outcome, this young guy just got himself in trouble, nothing like, I didn't think it was so catastrophic. He didn't hurt anybody or anything. And he was getting ready to go to court the next day. I had been working on his case a few months, and they were going to sign a 9-year plea deal, 9 years in prison. And so he was all upset, and he was like, I can't believe that. I said, listen, pray before you go in there, speak out to ancestors, spirits, whatever you believe in, it's okay. Speak out until you feel it. Then you walk into that courtroom with your head held high. He did, and guess what he came out with? 2 years probation.
Goosebumps. May I ask what he did? He got
did
off
just
that.
what I said. And yep.
How?
He I guess called open plea, which I'm not real. I mean, I know a little bit about the court system because I've been working for so long, but he open plead and they gave him 2 years probation.
Wow.
But he went in there expecting 9 years in prison.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I got goosebumps on that one. And I always get goosebumps on your stories and how spot on you are with so many different people. Do you want to share something else?
Yeah. I don't think I shared Soldier Creep. His name is James Brown, but he's the rapper I was telling you about.
Okay.
And so he had been in a little bit of trouble before. Well, this one was a racketeering case. It was him and 20 some other young men, all grew up in the same neighborhood, but they said racketeering and RICO and all this stuff. Really, they were just friends that were all getting into trouble together. Mm-hmm. And everybody else, I did the set of the first 4 kids, all cases dismissed. He walked free. The rest of the guys out of all those kids are doing like 15 to 25 years.
Wow. So is it you're energetically clearing them, freeing them? And how does that vibe get to the court? Can you just explain a little more? It's a little confusing, but I'm feeling it.
Well, I'm going to have Tim give me one of my court case jars.
Okay.
And I'll share it with you.
Thank you. Thank you, Tim.
This is called a sweetening jar.
Okay.
This has names, court case paperwork. This is probably 50 cases in here right now. And in the morning, I get up and I shake it up. I shake the court system up. And I shake up, I have sour jars. I have sweet jars. I have all kind of different jars that I work with. And then, of course, I do candle work along with it. And I have to do fires. I have to, speak to the ancestors. It's a long process. I travel and I go to like Indian reservation sites, like Starved Rock in Illinois. I love to work in Starved Rock because I feel a presence there. And like I went last year and of course I'm working 300 cases right now. And I took every name and I wrapped it around a stone from Starved Rock and I threw it into the Illinois River and asked for help and let it flow. I let it flow freely.
This is amazing. So how did you learn all this? I mean, I
don't know.
So the sweet jar, the sour jars, tell me some other examples of the other jars that you have and the other things that, they're used for.
I have a war jar. I have a peace jar. The war jar is to cause war between like the state and the person's attorney.
Got it.
Or between the state and the co-defendants or whoever's, whatever the case may be. It just depends. I have to go into prayer and see whatever I'm told to do. That's what I do because I don't do it on my own accord. And that's also how I've learned to do everything. Sometimes it'll just come to me. And just like today, for instance, so this kid comes here for a cleanse, terrified out of his mind. It was my son's friend. Now my son has seizures. He's had open heart surgery. So I don't like to get him riled up. But this was his good friend. And so I'm outside, I'm doing something outside and I'm walking back in the house and Spirit says, your son has to has to do the cleanse. Never ever picked up a tepi before in his life, which is the hose to blow the hape. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I tell my husband, I'm like, hey, Nick has to do this cleansing. And Tim's like, okay, because Tim usually does it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Came in here, I said, Nick, I have to show you how to do something, and this is you. And he did it. And he did an amazing job. And the kid left here, he's like, I feel so light and so much better. He was like, I've been resisting this for like 3 months now.
Wow. Oh my goodness. How's your son doing? Is he?
he was so
okay?
He was, his palms were all sweaty and stuff, but he did really, really well. And he felt real proud of himself.
Now, why do you think that happened? Because he was close with his friend and spirit guide, like he's the one who has to help along the journey as well, kind of hold his hand through the process. Wow.
Right. And so, of course, I had Nisha in there, which is my son's wife, and she's my reader manager. And because, she cleanses with us all the time. And I was like, you got this, Nick. And he was like, I don't know. And I told the guy, I was like, listen, Spirit told me this is what has to happen, because he's very passionate about you getting a cleanse to help you move forward. This guy was so stuck. He has the potential to make a lot of money and really do something with his life.
Mm-hmm. And I'm reading on the website, great news today. County 1 robbery with weapon, count 2 fleeing, eluding, both felons drop only charge driving without valid license and credit time served. We did it. Looking at some of your cases, thanks to my Blessings hand wash, I finally started using it and things have been coming into place. Doors are opening, an unexpected deposit. Thanks, Mrs. Judy. And I definitely will need to order with you soon. Good morning, Miss Judy. I got that gold bill the other day. I woke up this morning to a $2,600 deposit from unemployment that I haven't gotten from them in months. Thank you. I absolutely love getting readings done, and everything that's has been said about them have come to light, except this weekend. She could have warned me. But seriously, if you ever want to try book with my girl, what was that about?
I don't remember. But I talk to like 100 people every day.
But that's wonderful. There's great testimonies of the type of work you do and can do. When it comes to, how can I just excuse me because I don't know your terminology in layman's terms. So if you're helping someone, say, for example, who was in trouble, like this person may have had a speeding ticket, let's say, and wants to get it, knocked down to a seatbelt, ticket, whatever. They come to you. Now, it's not guaranteed, clearly, but do sometimes Spirit come to you and say, it's not going to happen to this person? And you tell the person, look, we're here today, we're doing your reading, but like, are they honest with you? Because does that happen sometimes? They may get upset with you, but it's honest, right?
Yep, it's honest. I turn down cases all the time. And that type of thing right there, I would tell the person, I don't want to take your money for that. You can work it yourself. You can get a candle and do a manifestation and get that ticket dropped yourself. The big cases, I probably need to work them, but I turn those down too sometimes. If a person comes to me in a disrespectful manner or whatever, or if I feel like I'm very choosy on what types of cases I do and the backstory to it. I really have to feel like that I'm doing the right thing.
Got it. And cases in particular, anywhere from like driving violations, like we just talked about, burglaries, robberies, anything like that?
Yep. I do all that. Like I said, depends on the backstory.
Yeah.
I have to hear that and I have to feel it. If I don't feel it, then I'm not going to do it. Like
if there's no compassion in the person or no, like, is that kind of resonate with you? Like, let me just say, for example, if someone came to you and says, look, I murdered 3 people and I'm on trial. I'm just saying, like, would you work with that person? Or is it like they were, set up to do it? Or do you feel like a good soul or a bad soul? And then does that help you determine if you're going to work with them?
There you go.
Or someone who needs who deserves that chance. And no matter how bad it is, whether it's like murder or like a speeding ticket, those type of things. Okay, good.
And sometimes it gets difficult because a parent will call me and they'll be just crying on the phone. And, this has happened before where I've turned down a case because I didn't feel the good energy from that person. Like they were really, sorry for what they had done and ready to, release and say sorry to the people that were hurt by it. But the mother was so torn apart and I just felt so horrible. And I had to tell her I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And I was so sorry. I felt so bad because I myself and my mom. And
Yeah.
I know how I would feel, you know,
Of not
but
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
yep,
6, 7, 8.
there you go.
And
There
counting
you go.
and counting.
Yep. Oh, no, not yet.
Did I just predict something? Or adoption?
There you go. No,
Oh,
Tim and I are going to have 2 kids.
because you feel it?
Because, yeah, he doesn't have any. He deserves to be a father. He's a
Mhm.
great man.
Oh, and he's a great dad to your kids too. Now I'm
What?
sure.
Oh my gosh. I couldn't have chosen better. Or Spirit couldn't have chose for me. Let me tell you this.
Well,
Jill.
I bet he probably says, hey, after you said that just now, he probably thought to himself, they are like my kids. Like, don't say Tim doesn't have kids with me. They are my kids.
Yes.
I could see him
yes,
being defenseful about them and standing up.
yes, yes, yes.
Aw.
Wow, what was I gonna say? I can't remember. Huh?
Tim, kids, Tim
Boy, this
deserves
brain.
kids. He deserves kids. You're gonna give him kids.
Oh, it'll come back to me.
All right, good. Great. Oh my goodness. What else do you have on tap for us today, Judy?
You want to open up the lines and if somebody wants to call in?
Absolutely. They're open. I didn't say the number, but they're open. 631-317-1291. 631-317-1291. If you have any questions for Miss Judy Burrows, ask anything. Nothing's off limits, right?
Oh, you know what?
Oh, what?
So when I did Doug Llewellyn's show last year, one of my court case clients called in. This kid was looking at 100 years. 100 years. And he did 1 year in a program.
What?
Yeah, he's back out, and he's living his life. He comes to see me all the time. He gives me a hug and thanks me, but he felt the need to call into Doug Llewellyn's show and to talk to me, to thank me on the air.
Oh my gosh. That is
9
amazing.
years, 100 years or whatever it was, something like that.
How is that possible?
I don't know, but it worked. It worked out. It worked out real well. And what else can I tell her?
Wow.
Comes over there like, I don't know. A lot of people also come to me about how should they pray?
Mhm.
Because I always tell everybody, pray through it. And so I'll get a lot of messages or phone calls. Well, who do I pray to? What do I say?
Mm-hmm.
You say what comes from in here, because what comes from in here is where the power's at.
Yeah.
So if you feel it, you can make it happen. If you feel it, that's where your passion is. You're going to put it all. It doesn't matter who you speak it out to. You speak out to what feels good to you, what you believe in.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's amazing. Really is. Do you ever take a break from what you do? Or is it constant? I mean, even just going to the stores, even just going out for the day, you're always reading people and.
Well, usually when I go to the store, I got people coming up to me all the time, and they'll ask me a question, and I stop and answer it, because I don't get the big head or anything. But yeah, this doesn't stop. You because when you stop doing this, you're not really doing this. If you can not help somebody in the time of need, and they're coming to you asking you for help, and you're like, well, I'm on vacation, or I'm this, or I'm that, then you shouldn't be in this business.
No.
You shouldn't be in this part of your life. It shouldn't be part of your life if you're not open.
Wow. 631-317-1291 if you want to ask Judy a question. Again, readingsbyjudy.com. Ask her anything though, as far as what could they ask about? Relationships, life, work, future, past, anything, right?
Hard.
Ask for a card. All right, guys, come on. Somebody call, ask for a card. Tell you want your cards read.
I'm surprised. Usually I'm used to, the phone lines are lighting up like a Christmas tree.
I know, not today. Why? And
yeah, right.
oh my God, are they on? They're on. They're open.
Yeah, I just think that I didn't get my link out in time. That's what happened.
That's all right. But
But
hopefully someone will call. In the meantime, we still have a few minutes left. So 631-317-1291. What else do you want to share then in the meantime until we get calls?
well, what else we do is we have like different baths. Want to give me one? We have baths for light cleansing. We have baths for, this is like hex and jinx remover.
What's
We have
that?
what's called a finger bath. It helps you open your paths like a road opener.
Oh,
We have
we got a call.
reversible.
Stand by. Hold on. Hello. Welcome to the show. You're live on the line with Judy Burrows. Who's this?
Yeah, hi, this is Henry.
Henry, thank you for calling. We opened up the phone lines. We thought nobody was like joining us today. So as you hear Judy's talking, she's offering free readings. Do you want a card reading or do you want to ask her a question?
Just as a psychic skeptic,
Oh,
I'd like to ask her.
Sure.
You know, I was never never believed in psychic, and I'm just wondering, like, would she do a card reading for me? What exactly would you do to a skeptic, like as a first reading? What would she recommend, like, kind of to legitimatize this in my own mind?
good question. Okay. Go ahead, Judy.
I mean, I can pull a card for you if you'd like. I wouldn't mind doing that.
I could barely hear.
Oh, she said she's going to pull a card for you, sir. Hold on. She's going to pull a
Okay.
card right now. Stand by.
What was his first name? Harry?
Henry.
Henry. All right, Henry. See what we get. So this shows here that you're seeking out information that isn't readily available to you right now. That's crazy that that card came up, and it just stands for that. And it shows here, sometimes you have to move on without having faith in things. Don't always look for that you're believing in something. It doesn't make it real. So those two cards right there.
Oh, by the way, she showed a card with a picture of a man on a beach walking next to rocks. And that one means what?
And it's reversed. So it shows like moving on without answers.
You gotta learn to move on, Henry. Even if you don't have the answers, you got to take a leap of faith, is what she's saying.
Right.
And then the first one was kind of about you being a skeptic, I think, right? I see it right there. Seek. Obviously,
Right.
you're not watching, you're listening, but the card seek again means you're here looking for information.
Looking for answers. But that sometimes you have to walk away not knowing, but just believing.
Do you hear that? Sometimes you have to walk away without knowing, just believing.
Also, walk away. Leaping in or walking away. That's I'm trying to figure out. I'm getting through because I could barely hear her, and I'm sorry. I don't.
That's okay. Sound like you're on a cell phone. You mean walking toward whatever it is that you, Judy? Let me ask you. You mean walking toward, right? Not walking away,
Just-
like
Right. Walking away. Sometimes you don't need to know the answers.
sometimes
you have to
you
walk
don't
away.
need to know the answer. You have to
Walk away in faith.
walk away. Just have faith. Walk away, like walk to it.
Ah, okay. Well, that's interesting, and that's kind of.
Could you give him
my
any?
life at this point.
Could you give him anything else? He still sounds skeptical to me. But I mean,
Well, yeah, but it's kind of general, but it just happens to hit home right now, which is kind of bizarre.
okay, then
I
believe.
do
You should. This is Judy Burrows, readingsbyjudy.com. I've worked with her plenty of times before, and I gotta tell you something. She was spot on with me. 2 months ago, we did a television interview, and my mom came through. She actually, I'm getting goosebumps. At the end of our interview, she said she's seeing a rose. I think it was a rose, and that's my mom's middle name. And she talked about how proud she was of me, and she knew it was my mom. And I'm not even kidding. She didn't know me from a hole in the wall. So just letting you know. But okay, go ahead, Judy. Back to Henry.
The only last card I'm getting is he feels very alone.
You feel very alone.
I feel like
Oh my God, I hate her. I feel like I'm naked. Okay, so wait a minute. So now my question is, considering that she's kind of hitting all the high notes, this is just a card reading at random from a caller
She could feel your energy
Energy.
through the phone line, through anywhere in the world. That's just how she works. And what does the feeling lonely card mean? Explain that to him.
Since it's upright, it shows that he feels very alone. Even if he has people around him, inside, he feels very lonely. And I see that he wants to have somebody in his life that can fill that.
Got it. But is that really going to fill his void, someone else, or does he have to find his own happiness?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
A lot of us feel alone, and sometimes we go to the wrong people for the wrong reasons to try to feel not alone, right?
Right.
I don't know your situation, Henry. I'm just saying, I'm not judging you at any point, but do you feel alone in all honesty? Could you tell our listeners?
Yeah, no. I mean, everybody's lonely.
Well, I'm just going to ask, do you have a family, wife, children? Like, are you living alone? Are you by yourself, or are you?
An ex-wife, loving children, you know, but it's an ex-wife. So someone, I would prefer to fill that void with them saying, this is kind of like, I feel like I'm almost naked.
So you're alone.
Now my question being, are the readings as accurate in this kind of a media, or as opposed to, like, let's say like palm reading, or someone's holding your hand? I can see
I do that.
The in-person compared to the virtual. He wants to know if it's one's better than the other.
Is it easier for her, more accurate? Is there a difference?
No, she's shaking her head, and we've talked about it before. That's how I know. But no, let her speak ahead.
And my reviews on, you can Google me. I have 5 stars across the board. And these are phone, video, and in person. I've done them all for many, many years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, because it doesn't matter if it's in person or from afar.
Correct. And any advice you want to give Henry for the day? I think he came here as a skeptic, and by you pulling just a few cards, I think he's believing a little more. I hope so. Anything else you want to say to kind of really hit home with him? Because I know she's spot on, Henry. I'm just going to be honest with you. She really is.
I appreciate
I'm intrigued, but the point is I am driving, and probably their connection now. How would I be able to find her? Like, my memory's also short. I don't know if you told you that. You could tell me something and I'll forget in 5 minutes. If you give me the Judy
Burrows, Burrough, HS, but readings by Judy. That's just Google readings by Judy. It'll pop up. She's all over.
Readings by Judy, because I can't write anything down right now.
Judie. Google Judy Burrows psychic cleanser healing. She pops up everywhere. She's got great reviews around the world. And she's based out of Florida, but she does work with people everywhere. In closing, Judy, anything you want to say to Henry? Because we do have to go. What would you like to say? I
just want to thank him. I appreciate him, especially because he felt so open and it was uncomfortable. But I appreciate him.
This is not easy.
Oh my goodness. Well, I appreciate you calling in, and I hope you will reach out to Judy, because she really is the real deal, and you have every right to be skeptical about anything in your life. But I hope today confirms and affirms your belief. Think about what you said. Think about that lonely card. Think about that seeking card, right? You're seeking something. And the third one was
moving on.
Even though you don't know, the leap of faith. Yes.
Take a leap of faith. Yeah. You don't have to know everything in order to move on. Just go with the flow. That's kind of what she's saying. Yes. I'm watching her. She's shaking her head.
Well, I think I'm going to end up looking her up and getting a private reading.
You should.
We'll see where that goes.
Please. All right.
You made an unskeptic of me.
Oh, good. We have a lot to think about, but don't forget readings by Judy. Okay. Google.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day, Henry. Thank you for the call.
Bye from me. Thank you, Judy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See, skeptics all the time. You deal with it, right? That's what?
My day.
Oh, that seemed like you really, I think you got him. I hope you're still listening and driving just carefully, but I think she kind of hit you. You got a little reclamp there. So yeah, good.
That made me happy. And that's what I really, really love when that happens.
One person at a time. Yeah.
Yeah. One person at a time. And even if he never books a reading with me or anything, I think that affected him in a way that he'll think about.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Judy, we are out of time, and I want to thank you for being here. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you too, Jill.
Thank you to Henry. Thank you for being you. Tell us how we get in touch with you.
Readings by Judy, JUDIE.com, Judy Burrows on Facebook, Readings by Judy on Facebook, or everywhere.
Great. And let's promote next week. Same time, same place. We're going to be doing a live cleansing, correct?
Yes.
This is awesome. So if you ever want to know what it's all about, you got to tune in next week. Judy Burrows, thank you. Have a blessed day. And good luck on baby number 9 and baby number 10. Maybe we'll have news by next week. Joking.
Well, I don't know about that.
All right. But I feel very close with you. I know you. I don't know you personally one-on-one, but like from talking to you for so many months, I just want to say thank you guys. I would seriously, everyone meets and everything happens for a reason. And
Yes.
I know in your business, you meet a lot of people. So do I, but some people just connect. So, and I like you. I'm glad you're here. Thank you. Thank you for holding space here and being with us. Thank you, Tim, on the camera there. Give you a shout out. Good lighting.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Have a great day, everyone. More of the show, of course, is on the way. Please stay tuned. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.